It's Ruben Lowy, and it's Sunday. Just got out of church. Strong leadership today in the service. This is my leadership call today. I had somebody I had prospected, and they had given a talk. They're a realtor, and they had given a talk on how people need to get their financial house in order. And so I brought them to a training, and then hadn't heard nothing from them. I think they referred their son, recruited their son, and then right away changed his mind. And they looked up, and then I called her about these about the Zoom workshops, and she said that she'd looked up Transamerica, and she didn't see very good stuff. I'm like, so I looked it up, and I found a blog that there was about 170 comments on the blog, and there were some positive ones, and people that were liked the performance and their IULs, all right. But there was some negative ones. But most of the negative ones, there was one for a term policy that somebody was they just didn't understand. They were trying to get a return of premium, and I don't know what they got said. I don't know if if that was offered when they got it or not. But term usually just means term. It's pure insurance, and so your premium is just paying for that, and there's no refund. There's no return of premium for that. All right, and there sure is no cash value in it. Right then, there was a bunch of them where people that had the Transamerica 401k at their work, and they weren't trying to get that money out or roll it over, is always a challenge. Okay, and there were people that were trying to they ended their policy, and they wanted to get their return of premium, and I don't know if it was after the surrender period or not. So there was a lot of complaining. There was a lot of people there was a couple people that they were the beneficiary, and they were wanting that money right away, and there was a process there. So there was nothing in it that was really bad about it. There was nothing that couldn't be justifiably explained. There was just a lot of people that really what it reminded me of was when I was in the Navy, and I went to Monterey for Spanish language school, and I got there, and the Navy, my detail didn't reserve a seat in my class, so I had like a 3-month wait. So I got no cost orders, Pensacola, doing what I did before I was a Navy SEAL, and that was teaching boxing and physical fitness to Navy pilots and air crewmen. I got in great shape, and I went back. Right before I went back, I got a $253 paycheck, and because the dispersing clerk took away my advanced dislocation allowance and all my special pays, and so I had to get financial assistance to get back to Monterey, and I went into PSD, and I was going to rip somebody's head off, and this senior chief dispersing clerk jumped right on my side. What? Let's find out what happened. And what happened was I didn't fill out my travel claim. I got there. What happened. I went to Pensacola, and during that time, I didn't fill out a travel claim. And because I didn't fill out a travel claim, they made assumptions, and that's what happened. And I'm like, oh, I messed up, okay. And she was smart enough to jump on my side. Great customer service, okay. And it was, well, the problems were my problem. I did it, okay. So I got a feeling there was a lot of that going on with a lot of people that were complaining on this blog. Right, then I stumble on a YouTube video bashing WFG. This guy, it was the second one. I didn't see the first one, but he went into these offices of WFG, and the receptionists, didn't want to talk to him, couldn't talk to him. They were people, the associates were busy with clients in their offices. One office, the MD or CEO, whoever it was that was basically had the lease for the office, shooed the guy off and didn't answer any of his questions. Then he went to another office, and the guy's trying to impress him with what his cash flow is and everything like that. And the guy's like, well, he jumped to an assumption about who else is making any money, right? And that has nothing to do with the company. That's the human being, the human problem, right? And you got to be a self-starter, man. You got to be business-minded. You got to be, and if you're not, you will get in your own way in this business, and you just have to work it. It's like nothing else. In fact, it's no different than any other insurance company. I remember I got recruited, or I got prospected by another Navy SEAL. He was an officer. He was, his claim to fame is he was one of the ones that rescued the astronauts when they did the splashdowns, and he was the head guy for New England Financial, and he really wanted me. And then I also applied for MetLife. Kind of found out New England Financial was a subsidiary of MetLife, and in both cases they wanted my whole database, everybody I knew, name and number, and get after it. And I wasn't going to get paid anything, right, until I got my license. But if I got like 3 deals done, they'd pay for my license, okay, and out of my database. But at the same time, I was already working as a debt management consultant. Every time I showed somebody how to get out of debt, they started looking at buying a house. So I got my real estate license, and went that direction, okay. But it's no different than anybody else, except with our business, you can recruit yourself, okay, not just the manager at the office, right? And then also, it's not a scheme. It's not a Ponzi scheme. A Ponzi scheme is when there's no product or service. It's just money. Okay, people are making. That's what Bernie Madoff did. Okay, and now there's some chain letters that are actually, that's what they are. They're Ponzi schemes, right? This is a legitimate product. It's financial services, life insurance, right? If you don't write business, you don't make any money. Okay, there's no money being made by recruiting in our business. Okay, so yeah, I wish the people that this guy interviewed would have had the gumption to deal with him the way I'd have dealt with him, right? And there may be a time where I'll address a guy and afraid of him. There ain't nothing he can say, or everything he says is an assumption, right? It's an ignorance, and it's he doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, just because you recruit doesn't mean it's a scheme. The Navy recruited me, right? Every business recruits Okay, but not everybody in every business is allowed to recruit. Okay, they don't always give that benefit up to the, the regular employees. Okay, the agents is always got to be somebody at a higher level, and we allow you to build to that higher level by recruiting. So there's nothing wrong with it. All right. Now, with that said, I have one of my associates. This guy's I didn't know he was a pastor. I just knew he had he did financial literacy training at his church. He even he's publishing a book, right? Wrote a book publishing it, and so I had him there, and he's like, this, he liked it. If you guys already have a system, but why should I reinvent the wheel? Then he didn't do nothing for a long time, right? But I kept feeding him, giving him the information. Then we finally had a talk, and I explained to him how this goes. It's different than what his perception, like every other MLM, okay? And we are not that. You can make money in our business on your own pen. Get your license and write business, and you can make money whether you recruit or not. Now, you can make more money if you're recruiting, right? And that's our marketing system. But also, you can build an agency, all right? And then I started to explain to him how it goes with, you just direct people to these Zoom calls. So I sent him I do it every day. I check out what's on the WSB community Facebook page. I look at the events, and then I take the date information. I put it in my campaign manager, and I send it out. People already have in my database my campaign manager, and so he got it today. He's like, "Can I send this to people?" I'm like, "You sure can," right? Ideally, hopefully, he'll get on. He went in requested to get on to WSB Community, so I'm waiting for that to get approved there. Then he can go look at events and do this all on his own, and then he needs to get on to what is it? GroupMe, okay, and then he can get other events that are happening, and do the same thing and get on Campaign Manager and get after it. So the very exciting things I've gone and mapped out my week for next week, and and then Monday at 7:00 I am doing my own Zoom. I went and paid for the Zoom, so I'm not limited to 40 minutes, and I'm not limited, so I don't have to rush. I can be more conversational. All right. So there's some really good stuff going on, and this is my leadership talk for Sunday, April, 26th? April 26th. All right. Have a great one.